This scorching summer near Washington, D.C. was made even hotter thanks to great lacrosse. Athletes Unlimited flew into focus with its next sport and created memorable fireworks. In these leagues, there can be only one champion. Kat Osterman delivered blazing softball success last summer. Then the sensational Jordan Larson ruled over volleyball this winter. Over the past 5 weeks, the level of lacrosse has been outstanding. A dazzling showcase of the sport like never before. One which Taylor Cummings has taken to heart.
Ron Beck ran out of racetrack. A Puzo shut down by Geiger. Cummings inside to score.
Today, a new champion will be inscribed into the Book of Unlimited, while 4 medalists will reign over this inaugural season. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, what began as a walk into the unknown, has achieved its mission, leaving the next generation in love. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports is presented by Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com. Our championship weekend hits the home stretch. In the first of the last 2 games today, Team Katie Glenn gets the marquee treatment against the team captained by Kylie Ohlmiller. With all eyes focused on the Geico leaderboard, might as well rename it the Ridiculous Race. Taylor Cummings begins the day in prime real estate. There's only one champion crowned tonight, but the battle for the top 4 medals has 9 serious contenders, so hold on tight. It is great to see you again. Along with Courtney Martinez, Connor, a 5-time national champion at Maryland. I'm Joe Beninati. Suddenly, it's the end of the season. So if you're a captain, Court, what are your final words to your team?
Well, first and foremost, you want to have fun. These players have been going hard for 5 weeks. This is their very last game, so they want to make sure they're having fun on the field because that translates into team chemistry. When they're playing well together, that's when good things happen.
Time for us to highlight the best of the best. And in my mind, Kylie Ohlmiller has been all pro, and she's ready for the challenge today.
Kylie Ohlmiller, she works so well with her teammates on the field. She's always thinking a step ahead. She loves the 2-man game, putting herself in opportunities to get open nice and quick. She's able to handle tough passes and still finish them. She's crafty with the ball inside. She always finds a way to get her feed off to any teammate. Look at that behind the back pass right there. Always creating. She is super smart offensively. As you look at her shiftiness, she loves that work around the goal cage, around the crease is her specialty.
As dependable as they come, Ohlmiller has the #1 total of goals plus assists in this league. She'll be making her point today. We've mentioned that the top 4 on the leaderboard will be receiving medals. If I had to bet about anyone from outside the top 5 pushing forward, I'd put my money on Kayla Trainer.
You have to talk about Kayla Trainer. She has the ability, despite missing a week, to make things happen on the field. Even with defense playing her perfectly, she always knows how to find a way. She gets her stick up and away from her body, but then she's patient. She knows the right time to swoop in and finish the play. Straight from the draw control or from behind the goal cage, she has the ability with her height, size, and athleticism to even dip and dunk over her defenders.
It happens quickly. She's a magician with a lacrosse stick in her hands. She went on a 400-point spree last weekend. Can she manage an encore? All the traditional individual stats, Court, they're great to look at, and they factor into the final results, but we know that winning with your mates is really what matters most.
When you're winning as a team, good things happen for the players on it. Each and every quarter counts. Your team gets 20 points per quarter win. An overall win is an additional 45 points. But you want to make sure you're doing well on the field and others are noticing you. There's 3 MVPs chosen per game. It's no matter whether your team wins or loses, and those are very coveted points. And then individually, you can continue earning statistically, whether it's ground balls, goals scored, or goals saved. Cause turnovers count just as much as a goal. So it's important to make sure you're doing your job on the field.
Today is the culmination of 5 weekends of really hard work. I mean, when you go back to the beginning, it was 58 of the best players on earth, split into 4 teams that changed from week to week through a captain's draft. Points that would add up really fast and in a unique way. And the end goal has always been to crown one champion, and we'll do that tonight after the second game of our doubleheader. This first game today Team Glenn against Team Ohlmiller in court. Both of these squads with 1-1 marks into their final game of the season.
You know, when you're going into a game even 1-1, again, it's all about doing it on the field. No stone unturned. You want to make sure you have your best foot forward today because there's no second chances.
Absolutely none. It's been a pleasure for us to watch these athletes work, and they've had a great frame of mind. As you can see, the beaming smiles before game time today. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports, presented by Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com. Game 29 of 30. It began 5 weeks ago. We weren't sure whether the offense was going to be ahead of the defense and vice versa. And as the season has gone along, defensively, the teams have become more stout. If you're just tuning in with us, we can give you an assessment of how the rules play out and how this game differs from what you may have seen in the past. The field dimensions are different for sure. 80 yards from goal to goal.
You know, that just means that the game is going to be played faster. And the faster that the pace is, the quicker teams have to go from one side of the field to the other. It means a lot of running, especially for the midfielders. But my favorite part is 6-on-6. When you have less players inside of the critical scoring area, it means more exciting things can happen in there.
Yesterday, Mira Shane and Team Ohlmiller picked up a win over Kaylee Waters. It was a 12-11 thriller. And when you think about it, just about 50% of the games this season in all of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse have been decided by 2 points or less. So you should anticipate another tight one today. Angie Benson will be in the cage for Team Glenn. Katie comes off the pine and works the second half. We play 8-minute quarters in Athletes Unlimited. Angie Benson, as you make your way to the goal circle, what were you and your mates just talking about on this final day?
Let's have a freaking day. You know, put it all on the field. We have nothing to lose. We have a good crowd out here with a bunch of fans. Like, let's put on a show.
I hear you, Angie, and this is a family show, so let's clean that up a little bit. No potty mouth going forward.
No promises. PG-13 over here.
I'm just teasing you. You know that. Thanks for all the help this season. We appreciate it. Mira Shane at the other end. Mira, as this season has gone along, you've been better and better and better. What's been the secret?
Besides some kale juice from my dad, bringing it from my hometown, I gotta just say, leaning on my strengths, staying confident, and the people around me that have constantly supported me, they're taking me through each and every save.
Kale juice. I didn't know that was popular in Princeton, New Jersey. Is that true?
Listen, it's really good from Arlie's.
All
it's
right.
Fantastic.
Hang in there, my friend.
All right, thank you.
We're off and running. The officials, Erica Leslie, Peggy Salucci, Kathy Russo, and Liz Brush. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. We're at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex. Washington, D.C. is about 30 minutes south of here. In blue, that's Team Glenn. And in possession, it's Kristen Carr, who's been a ground ball champion for this team throughout the weekend and in previous weeks for that matter.
Kristen's friends affectionately call her Cookie, a nickname that she received in her playing days when she was younger. She's one of the anchors defensively on any team that she's been on. Obviously, teams have changed from week to week, but they're always looking to her to be the captain on the defensive end.
10 seconds to shoot for Taylor Vandhoff. Shayna Parekha has been a 2-point threat. That's outside the 8-meter key. She's matched up with Katie Hirsch. 3 seconds to shoot. Fortunato feeds it inside. The horn sounds, and there's evidence of that really good defense that we were talking about. Back to Cookie for a second. Cookie, 5 years old as a soccer player, playing against players 5 years older. That's one tough little cookie, and the nickname has stuck ever since.
She is tough. You're going to see her on the field going full speed, going for ground balls, sacrificing her body oftentimes.
Izzy McMahon off the split dodge, playing catch with Allie Kennedy. Kennedy was the first overall draft selection this past Monday. Her former Stony Brook teammate Kylie Ohlmiller selecting her. The captains picking new teams throughout the 5 weeks of the season. As we get to this penultimate game, game 29 of 30. Dowd off of a hat trick performance, getting fancy there, playing a hidden ball trick with Sammy Jo Tracy, and the pass was too high. We played 2 minutes of the opening quarter. There are 8-minute frames. Perella guarding Tracy step for step. Sammy Joe picks up McMahon. 7 seconds to shoot. Turning back to the right, feed it inside Sammy Joe. Tracy stonewalled by Angie Benson.
Angie Benson had such a strong first and second quarter in the game yesterday. She was a defensive stalwart in cage, coming up with some big saves, keeping things close throughout their game, despite the fact that they came up with a loss.
Angie gets 6 points for this stop. That'll add to her overall leaderboard tallies. Courtney was mentioning the performance yesterday, 7 saves against Team Cummings. The high-powered squad featuring the overall leaderboard number 1 that will play in the second game tonight. Kennedy ready to go off the sweep. Gets a step on Perella and fires to score! Allie Kennedy buzzing that one from very close and perhaps beyond the 8-meter key.
Allie Kennedy was able to get her hands free based off of that little two-man game with her former Stony Brook teammate and current captain, Kylie Ohlmiller. Those two work so very well together.
Allie Kennedy, goals in 10 straight games. This Whistler from the perimeter, too hot to handle. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Hasn't really been 5 weeks since these players walked down the hill and into the pro ranks here at Maureen Hendricks Field of the Maryland Soccerplex. All the colors of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse and the action that has played out over these 5 weekends has been spectacular. Just tuning in with us today as we were making our way to break in front of perhaps the best crowd of the season. This is a fan day. The tickets were for sale today at Maureen Hendricks Field, and they've been pouring through the turnstiles since. A 2-point goal has been awarded to Allie Kennedy, and we are going to look at first her overall points breakdown. But when you see the replay, Court, she took off from behind the key.
She used the pick by Kylie Ohlmiller so well, challenging on her heels. But as she jumped to take the shot, that's the most important part. Her feet were behind the line. Once that ball is out of her stick, she can land anywhere inside of that 8-meter key. And you can clearly tell the ball was out of her stick. She took flight right before then. And Joe, we've talked about that surprise #1 draft pick that Kylie took. Yes, they were college teammates, but it's proven fruitful for Team Ohlmiller.
Taylor Van Thoff comes up with a draw possession. 2 points for that on the leaderboard totals when you get the draw control. Team Glenn in blue, trailing in the early going. We're almost halfway through the opening quarter. Van Thoff, who celebrated a birthday back on Thursday. Kayla Trainer against McDowdy. She scores! Kayla Trainer.
We talk about Kayla so often. She makes things look so easy. It was almost as if players weren't sure if that was a goal or not. As she's rocking back and forth, challenging up the goal cage, she has the ability to dodge hard, take a defender topside, or go underneath. And right here, we see her feeling where that defensive player is at. That's when she's deciding what she wants to do. She did a 4-up, 4-back dodge, but her hands were free. That's the most important part. She doesn't need a lot of angle to finish her shots.
Courtney, I had a flashback there to the collegiate days. Trainer against Dowdy, Syracuse against Maryland.
We saw that matchup many a times in championship games.
Trainer gets the best of Dowdy and Mira Shane in the cage, cutting the deficit in half. And Kayla Trainer says that lacrosse is a special sport that's on the rise. She just picked up 12 points for herself. Kayla mentioning to us, the more that we can touch the viewership, the better with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Great to have you involved on Fox Sports today. Perella has been a igniter for the offense. She lost her balance there, went awkwardly down. Fouled on her way to the turf. Resetting things 6-on-6 with Shayna Parekha. O'Donnell is next off the sweep. And we get a whistle coming from head official Erica Leslie.
Joe, so far we've seen two different defensive styles in past games. However, both teams are choosing to play man-to-man. Oftentimes when we see the zone, it's because teams like to isolate a lot, just like Team Cummings does, but these teams tend to work well together offensively, which is why they're choosing the man-to-man, because it's more passing.
Vanthoff's bid was blocked. Fortunato there to back it up with another fresh 60-second shot clock. Dowdy peeking out on Fortunato for two. She sent that one wide. Backup belongs to Trainer. Closest to the ball on a shot where and when it leaves the playing surface. 21 Blue recaptures, and she'll work against Kathy Rudkin. Trainer, nice pass. Perella, that was fought off by Shane. Just a whisker's worth of lacrosse ball there for Mira. Give her 6 more points on the stop.
Oftentimes offensively, in order to be successful, it's not just the person with the ball moving, but it's their teammates creating opportunities anytime they can off ball. That way you take your defender's eyes on you as opposed to where the ball is at.
Fortunato rarely off the scoreboard. She was yesterday. No goals against Team Cummings. Perella fires. That one squeaks through. Perella on the board, and this game is tied.
Alyssa Perella, she does such a great job getting space on her defensive player, and oftentimes she's able to do that because of her speed. She's very explosive when coming off the dodge. We see right here that quick split. It was actually a fake split dodge. She kept it in her dominant hand, but just that small, slight step is all any of these elite players need in order to gain a little bit of space. But as we can see, Mira Shane just got ever so slight. A little bit of that ball with her hip, her upper thigh. Ultimately, it still went into the goal cage. It counts. But that quickness by Alyssa Perella is what's so hard to defend.
From goal cam, you could see the look of frustration as Shane looked skyward. She knew she had a big piece of that. Not enough, however. In a 2-2 game, Team Glenn in blue has won all 3 of the draws to this point today. Vanthoff against McCone. This time, Lindsay won it to herself and gets help from Katie Hirsch.
Joe, they're looking right now. Players are not released until possession occurs, and the referees need to signal that possession occurs, which is why Team Glenn is saying there was no possession. However, the reverse side, Demo Miller, of course, is saying we saw the signal. Referees discussing that now.
And in the meantime, RoboCop, Katie Hirsch, the nickname she's carried since her collegiate days at Hofstra, will slip it down the alleyway for Allie Kennedy. Kennedy got things off to a flying start with a 2-pointer. Since then, Trainer and Perella back-to-back. There are 20 points available for the team that wins the quarter. McMahon lets it fly, crossing over. Benson with a good-looking save there to her off shoulder. Her outlet pass is a BB right on target for Katie O'Donnell. O'Donnell, first-team All-American out of Penn State, finds Perella coming late. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. 2:25 remaining in the opening quarter.
A lot of patience offensively as players are subbing in and out.
Pareca with a force feed there to Trainer and another whistle.
Because this foul was inside of that 8-meter key, it's going to be a free position shot. The only location where free positions are taken from is from the center half. We see right there, it's that push on the body. If you displace the attacker, that's what the referees are looking at when they call fouls.
Trainer, free position, winding up. Lets it fly, zipped it wide of the goal. The backup there for Perella. 25 seconds to shoot, 2:05 in the quarter. This pass is going to be turning out to be an over and back against Team Glenn. And the team dressed in purple gets right to work with Sammy Jo Tracy. Pitching it behind the cage for Katrina Dowd. Dowd, a player with 1,000,001 stick fakes.
They don't call her Trixie, her collegiate nickname for nothing. She is truly a wizard with her stick, capable of any stick trick.
Ohlmiller off the roll dodge. She hit the crossbar. Ohlmiller, who leads the league in goals plus assists this season, set up for another chance. She scores! Ohlmiller from Dowd.
Each team, they're finding their groove offensively, having a lot of looks at the cage. Their best looks have all been because of team play. Look at this hard challenge right now. Katrina Dowd, she had her head not looking at Kylie Ohlmiller. She sold that she was going to take that ball herself. Ultimately, she knew that Kylie was going to step into the right place at the right time. That's the two of them working so well together. Not any miscues or communications on the field. They just know after 2 games and a few practices how well they can play together.
Eagle-eye vision on display. Ohlmiller gets her 30th of the campaign. Folks, we want you to get even closer to the game. Join the Unlimited Club for free by downloading the Athletes Unlimited app today. You'll receive all the latest news and updates in the palm of your hand. Stream digital games, unlock special access, and more. If you're looking for more than that, you're invited to upgrade for a whole year of behind-the-scenes access of all the Athletes Unlimited seasons. Join the players in voting for game MVPs and end-of-season awards. Visit auprosports.com. That's auprosports.com. You'll learn more about the Unlimited Club, and you can make your Geico Unlimited pick to unlock content from your favorite player. A special thanks to our presenting field partners, the good people at Geico, for all of their assistance over the last 5 weekends. This is game number 29 of 30. Ohlmiller and Glynn battling today. We have a microphone on Kayla Wood. She takes us into the game.
But like Snickerdoodle is like so cute, and like Snickerdoodle, and you're like a Snickerdoodle. Yeah, you're. I kind of like oatmeal raisin.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think it's good.
Oatmeal chocolate chip is even
so
better.
good. Oatmeal chocolate chip is good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Angie, to my brick wall. You're gonna crush it today. I will. I'll do it for you, Perella.
So much discussion about food. So much, whether it be ice cream or cookies. It's fun.
Athletes love their fuel, and cookies count.
The amount of running that these athletes have done in the last 5 weekends, they can eat whatever they like. Inside of the game, the Athletes Unlimited Geico in-game leaderboard. The keeper who will come off the bench for the second half, Katie Glynn, resides 4th. The top 4 will be receiving medals tonight once we are finished with a game involving Team Cummings and Team Waters. Taylor Cummings beginning the day, the number 1 overall on the leaderboard. McCone gets this draw. Tail end of the opening quarter. Dowd, who just set up Ohlmiller, looks for Kylie again. Just a reminder, 20 points available for the team that wins the quarter. If it's tied, those points would carry over to the second frame. Kennedy, in the midst of a monster goal-scoring streak. She has tallies at 10 straight. Lost her balance there for a split second. Picked up on the outside by Kristen Carr. Dowd wants the ball today. Wood has her. 22 seconds to shoot. Dowd burrowing inside that 8-meter key. McCone, who is a very good assist player, fakes the flip. Works it over the top. Snapshot on the way. Benson with a save on Kennedy. The rebound for Dowd. Shot clock turned off. The last possession of the quarter could belong to the team dressed in purple. There is a whistle.
Joe, each team is deserving of a timeout. If you don't use them 1 per quarter, you lose it. This is a time where either the captain or the facilitator, a wise time to call it, set up an offensive set.
What a terrific stop there from Angie Benson. She had to see that around the defender. The inadvertent whistle from the officials. They'll restart play. Benson has 3 stops in this opening quarter. 25 ticks left in it. Team Ohlmiller in the purple has the lead. And if they just want to bank the 20 points, they can sit on the ball now for the remaining 15 seconds. Peros working down against fellow Tar Heel Carr. Ohlmiller knocked to the turf. That was inside the 8-meter key with 6 seconds to go.
This is certainly going to be another 8-meter for Kylie Ohlmiller. We see that contact. They're looking for the displacement. Obviously, she left her feet. Cookie Carr, Kylie Ohlmiller, both of them a part of the U.S. team program in the running to make the team for the next World Championships next summer.
Ohlmiller, free position, closing in, snapped it high. She was pressured and challenged there by Kayla Wood. Last ditch effort for Dowd as time expires. 8 minutes in the books. 3-2 for Kylie Ohlmiller. They win the 20 points. They know that Benson is locked in on a good game so far and tearing it up. A very visually appealing look back at the summer that was for Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse as we enjoy game 29 of 30 this Sunday. 3-2, Kylie Ohlmiller's squad has the advantage after 8 minutes. Joe and Courtney are now joined by Athletes Unlimited CEO and co-founder John Patrickhoff. And all of us connected with this great sport, John, have had a wonderful time with it. How did it play out in your eyes?
It's been absolutely incredible. What an incredible season. I can't believe we're here at the final day. The fan reaction, the players' reaction, everyone around the lacrosse world, and those who are new to the sport as well. I mean, that's what amazed me. You know, so many people who still haven't been exposed to how great this sport is, and they're just responding so well on social media and around the country.
John, there have been so many twists and turns throughout this season. Do you have any favorite moments so far?
You know, a lot of what I've really loved is what happens that you don't see during the week. The ways the players have come together, the things they're doing in their off time. It's been absolutely spectacular to see how they've bonded. I've had a chance to connect with some of them today in advance of this end of the season, and just hearing the stories, what it's like to be together with these great players, come together and really build a community. That's been awesome.
Along those lines, you mentioned, we've been saying it all along, that the players call the shots in this league. What's the feedback that you've been hearing from the players, from the player executive committee?
It's been absolutely so positive. I mean, we're so excited about what lies ahead. I encourage everyone to tune in tomorrow. We're going to be talking with the champion, whoever that will be, and also have some exciting news to announce about the future of AU Lacrosse and where we're going. But the response from the players is incredible. I think this is really going to help improve the sport and take it in a positive direction.
Now next weekend is season 2 for Athletes Unlimited softball. What are you most looking forward to? I know it's been hard prepping for one season as another ends. What can we expect there?
Well, it's a mix. I'm so excited to see some of our returners. We have all of our top players coming back. See how they're going to perform this year is going to be spectacular. And then to see some new faces. Odyssey Alexander gets a lot of attention, but there's a whole group of new rookies that are coming into the league for the first time. And I'm just so excited to see the action back out on the softball field.
John, thanks very much. Thanks for letting us be a part of it. It's been great.
Thank you. You guys have been spectacular.
I'm a little worried. Should we expect maybe a lacrosse ball coming into the stands? Right? You almost got hit with the softball.
I almost got hit with the softball. So no, this time I'm safe. I think we've got it.
Courtney will keep you covered.
Thanks, Courtney.
We're getting set for the start of the second quarter today. Ole Miller against Glenn. Our thanks once again to Athletes Unlimited CEO and co-founder John Patrikoff. If you are just tuning in, 8 minutes in the books. Kylie Ole Miller's squad took care of the scoring summary in the first quarter, winning that frame 3-2, and by virtue, earning everybody on its roster 20 points apiece. It has been a running total throughout the 5 weekends of play to try and figure out the top 4 on the leaderboard, all of whom will be receiving medals tonight. There will be a Defensive Player of the Year named as well in our closing ceremonies, as well as crowning that individual champion. There can be only one, and we started with some 58 players back at the tail end of July. The officials getting things coordinated. Second quarter set to unfold. Tallies for Team Glenn from the crosses of Kayla Traynor and Alyssa Perella. Allie Kennedy had a 2-point strike to start the game. Kylie Ole Miller, her captain, capping off the scoring. After one, made it a 3-2 ball game.
Joe, I think the biggest difference in the first quarter was the number of turnovers that Team Glenn had, 3 compared to just 1 for Team Ole Miller in purple. And turnovers matter. Every time you cough up that ball, you're giving the opponent another opportunity to score.
And you're losing 8 points individually if you're docked with a turnover. A caused turnover is as good as a goal, in fact. You get 12 points for the turnovers that you cause. 6-on-6 at this end of the field. Perella picking it up and playing catch out high with Grace Gabriel. Gabriel has tallies in 3 of her last 5. She's deceptive when she gets inside that 8-meter key. The pass that's picked off, intercepted by Emily Peros. Peros has terrific speed. Peros winding it up, feeds for Dowd. Move it to Tracy, stuffed out again. Angie Benson, hot as a pistol in this first half with 4 saves. What is it about Sundays for Emily Peros? She has 11 of her 16 goals on the last day of the weekend. She's a cog in the offense, especially at that time.
I think she saves it for that last day, right? Getting comfortable with her opponent. Not really, but that's something you want to tell yourself. Whenever you have a tough day out on the field, it's okay. I know that Sundays are my best day. And so mentally, sometimes preparing for that, little bit of sports psychology can get you going.
Dowd off the roll dodge, will re-dodge there and look for Sammy Jo Tracy. Well defended. Excellent defense from Katrina Geiger. And it's Kayla Wood who'll bring it back. Wood, who was a captain for 3 weeks of the 5 weeks of Athletes Unlimited. In fact, no captain won more individual quarters than Kayla Wood this season.
She did a tremendous job as a leader. She's so young, right out of college, but it's not about how old you are, it's whether others will follow your lead, and she certainly showed she has intensity out on that field.
I'm amazed to see her out on that field as Perella closes in. If you were with us yesterday, Wood was hit by a lacrosse ball in the side of her face off of a shot from Kelly McPartland. McPartland was ejected from the game with a red card. Kayla barely missed, 5 minutes before she got back onto the field. Free position, Perella. Zigs and zags and scores! Alyssa Perella.
You know, oftentimes taking an 8-meter, it's all about the quick start. And Alyssa Perella is incredibly fast. She goes hard off of that line. She normally has a good jump, But in this instance, she saw to her right that Allie Kennedy closed the gap quickly, had a better start than she did. So sometimes just that little freeze moment right there, pulling it back to her strong side as opposed to going straight forward, would give her a better advantage, and in this case, it absolutely did.
Perella, a player who can be instantly productive. As you can see, 25 goals on the year. She's had a couple of 4-goal games. Did it against Dempsey Arsenault in week 3. Did it against Katie Glynn in week 4. She's playing for Katie Glynn today, the goalkeeper captain who will come off the bench in the second half. Perella, with her 2 tallies, that's 24 points, 12 each when you score. McCone, collared on the outside. Takeaway check there from O'Donnell, a caused turnover. That's worth a dozen, as Benson will walk it ahead. Angie Benson thinking about an offensive zone foray. Instead, she finds Hench. Hench going right to the goal. Hench fires. That's caroming to the end line, taken by Trainer. Kayla wants the shot clock reset, and it is. Erica Leslie, the head official, doing that. Fortunato spins it up top, and Taylor Vanthoff will direct traffic. Vanthoff working in, finds Hench. She snapped it wide, backed up though by Fortunato. Plenty of time on the shot clock with just a little less than 5 minutes to operate in the opening half. Trainer against Dowdy. Screen set by Hench. Trainer thought about the question mark. Kayla off the split. Dowdy, as usual, right there in her grill. Taylor Vanthoff topside. She snapped it wide. Shane looked like she was baiting her to shoot to the far post. 7 seconds to shoot. Trainer, isolation, stopped by Shane. Mira pouncing on that loose ball in the goal circle. You watch her outlet on the button for Peros. They're looking for numbers here. Dowd closing, back to Emily, give and go. That one gets away. Alertly picked up though on the backup by Sammy Jo Tracy. The player down. Allie Kennedy was slow to get back up, and we hear a horn. Team Oldmiller has asked for the timeout. We'll take it with them. A chance for everyone to catch their breath. Back with more Athletes Unlimited. There we go. I'll have what they're having. Impressionable youngsters in the stands here at Maureen Hendricks Field of the Maryland Soccerplex. 3-3 the count between Team Glynn and Team Oldmiller. Folks, you can own a piece of Athletes Unlimited history with the first ever Topps trading card set for professional women's lacrosse. The limited edition sets feature all the athletes, plus additional cards about the league and randomly inserted serial numbered parallels, including player autographs and Nike Golden tickets. Sets are available to purchase now through the 27th at Topps.com. It's from now through August 27 at Topps, TOPPS.com. Folks, it's also time to earn points for watching today's telecast. Take out your phone, enter the code you see on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app. You'll earn points. If you don't have the Athletes Unlimited app, head over to the Apple App Store or Google Play Store and start earning points to unlock exclusive rewards. Stay in the know about all things Athletes Unlimited. Great crowd in the stands today. Taking a look at these wonderful athletes, we see them ranked now on the Geico overall leaderboard. Kylie Oldmiller has repositioned back into medal position. She's in 4th at the moment, just over 1,500 points. We'll see number 1 overall Taylor Cummings and number 2 Kaylee Waters in the nightcap tonight. Ball down. 3:45 to go in the half. Benson comes up with the scoop.
So incredibly dominant. You could hear her saying, goose it out, get it out. Oftentimes, if you're not able to come up with a ground ball at your feet, it's all about either kicking it or getting it out to someone else.
Courtney, as you analyze this first half, we've seen 2 different brands, I think, of offensive styles.
I think Team Ohlmiller has done a great job of spreading the field, sharing the ball well, and we've seen things a little bit tighter.
Fortunato off the sweep with a BB to the top corner.
Joe, as soon as I say, or was about to say, that Team Glenn has been playing a little tighter, everyone inside of that 8-meter area, we saw that last possession. They were giving Team Ohlmiller a little dose of their own medicine, spreading the field out. The farther that you spread out offensively, it means the defense has a farther lane to travel in order to slide if their teammate gets into trouble. So it actually provides a better opportunity, just like in this one-on-one case.
Mira Shane there from the goal cam. You could see she was drifting. She got caught leaning. You can't do that against a shooter like Fortunato. Courtney, your namesake, I was looking at a stat last week. It's great to have an amazing shot. It's even better when you hit the goal with it all the time. She hit the cage 83% of the time last week with her shots. Getting it on goal is critical.
And oftentimes some players, I know Sam Apuzzo loves to shoot, and then some are definitely going in. A player who waits for those kind of perfect times will definitely have those high shooting percentage totals, just like Courtney Fortunato.
In the second quarter alone, Team Glenn has the advantage, 2 points to none. If you win the quarter, everybody on your team gets 20 points for their individual leaderboard total. Ohlmiller and friends in the purple, they won the opening quarter. Kennedy up top, Kayla Wood there with her stride for stride. Ohlmiller off the bounce. Ohlmiller fires. Benson the save, and she made that look routine.
I know I talked a lot about Kylie Ohlmiller loves to play in and around the crease, but she does have the capability of taking a shot from outside. She has a knack for winding up. But in that last instance, we see Sammy Jo Tracy with a swing. Referees called not just a foul, but a yellow card. This is going to mean that Team Glenn is going to be player up for the next 60 seconds.
Sammy Jo heads off the field. 6-on-5 for Trainer, player up with 2:25 to go in the half. They'll circle it up for Taylor Vanthoff. Shayna Parekha thinking about the 2 outside the 8-meter key. Trainer looking over the top. Hench off the roll. Squeezes inside, tried to go over her shoulder there. Trainer follows and scores! Kayla Trainer, right place, right time.
Kayla Trainer always thinking about when and where to be. That ball can pop up and out the position that she needs to be in, but then we saw her throw. As soon as she gets this ball after the great defensive play inside by Team Ohlmiller on Hench, as soon as she caught that ball, she knew where her goalkeeper was going to be standing. She's going to immediately go to hug that pipe, and that's why she pump faked up and around, wanting to make sure that she sells that goalkeeper, making sure she punches out at the ball before she goes where she actually wants to shoot. Right here, pump fake, and then she drops it low, changing levels.
Coaches, players, analysts, you all talk about having a high lacrosse IQ. Obviously, Kayla has that. She's the newly named head coach of the women's program at Syracuse, but she knew likely where that ball was to bounce, and she gravitated to that spot.
She's always thinking about the next play. Where do I put myself in the best possible position, either to be an outlet or where that ball could be knocked to, and then put myself in a position to score. So she's a true student of the game, always has been.
Athlete Causes, allowing these athletes to play their season in part for the benefit of the nonprofit organization of their choice. Let's learn more from Taylor Vanthoff.
Hi, I'm Taylor Vanthoff, and I'm playing for the One Love Foundation. The One Love Foundation basically educates young individuals on healthy and unhealthy relationships, and they empower those individuals to identify and avoid abuse. So their main priority to everyone, not just young individuals, is to love better.
The athletes have been outstanding as civic leaders in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, and Taylor Vanthoff among them.
You know, many of the players have talked about the causes being one of those foundational reasons why they really wanted to be involved in the league. Not just to play professional lacrosse, but to make sure that they're playing for something bigger than themselves.
They are thrilled to be able to make donations in their names, right, Court?
Absolutely. And the One Love Foundation, several players within Athletes Unlimited chose that as their cause. I know that's something that I've been involved with in the past. You know, it's educational. It's making sure that each and every person knows what's about their cause. And a lot of players, last night I was out at dinner and happened to meet up with Caroline Wakefield, and she was out with the family that she is supporting her cause in. And so it's not just something that they chose and didn't know anything about. It's something that they've known about for a long time and want to make sure that the rest of the world knows about it.
The officials today, Erica Leslie, Peggy Salucci, Kathy Russo, and Liz Brush, have been talking with Captain Kylie Ohlmiller for quite a while, and it appears as if the trainer goal, her second of the day, is going to be taken down. Watch, Kayla Trainer has her foot on the goal circle.
So, as we watch that replay,
it was there when she made the catch.
Right.
I don't know about after that.
Each team is allotted 2 challenges per game. Obviously, Kayla's foot was on the line when she made the catch, not when she scored the goal. However, you are able to challenge a goal being scored for a select number of reasons.
Courtney, tell me, is the play dead once she has the ball and she's in the circle? If that's the case, then I understand. She definitely exited the circle before she scored.
Right. Anytime, whether it's an offensive player steps on that goal circle, the referees are taking notice. And so if that was a challenge from the other team, because I find it hard to see that the referees who would have called that a goal if they'd have known that she stepped on the circle, if they saw it to begin with, then they would have immediately made the call.
If that challenge was initiated by the facilitator for Team Ohlmiller, Shanta Lecker, that was outstanding. The facilitators are advisors. They're helpers on the sideline. You see top of the screen, the score stays 2-0 in this quarter for Glenn with the 20 points available. The facilitator for Team Glenn today is Julie Desposito. 1 minute and 37 seconds to go in the half. Peros running for cover away from the rangy Taylor Vanthoff. McMahon on the flip for Ohlmiller. Kylie outside the 8-meter key. Offers to McCone. A grade out of Northwestern. McCone spins back, finds Kennedy. 6 seconds to shoot. McMahon has range. She can fire it from deep. She does! And she stings the corner. Izzy McMahon.
I'm not sure what I love more about Izzy McMahon, her quickness, her change of direction. She does it on a dime on the field, or her celebrations. Watch as she's using that teammate, challenging on her heels. Immediately fading away. Ideally, you teach not to fade away, but she has such a powerful shot. We see that quick snap of her hands. And look at that excitement through and through as the score is tied back up at 4.
She loves dancing. She likes to play guitar and piano. Her college career began at the U.S. Military Academy before she transferred to Southern Cal. Part of the Women of Troy and a 30-goal scorer there 3 times over. She has 10 this season as a pro in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. These are pro players. They receive base pay, bonuses for wins, bonuses for their position on the leaderboard in this 4-4 game with 70 seconds to go in the half. 2-1 lead in this quarter for Team Glenn with those 20 points on the line. Gabriel comes up with a ground ball, beats the over-the-head check of Peros, and then spots O'Donnell on the run. This is a 4-on-3 fast break. O'Donnell right to the cooker. She sailed it wide. Dowdy was there to defend and went crashing awkwardly to the deck. The backup, though, belongs to Team Ohlmiller. This will be last call for Mira Shane and friends with 40 seconds to go. The shot clock is turned off. A chance for Team Ohlmiller, should they convert, to force these 20 points to carry over to the third. Kylie checking the scoreboard, 22 seconds remaining. McMahon is picked up by Kayla Wood, who will hawk her all the way along the end line. McMahon. Kennedy off the hitch. McMahon, tough angle. That's off the outside of the goal. No goal there. That's off the outside of the cage. 6 seconds left. Benson pops it to midfield. Kayla Trainer scoops, offers it to O'Donnell. There's not enough time. We are done with 16 minutes. Deadlocked at 4 apiece. Team Glenn wins the second quarter, 2-1.
Joe, every time a team scores a goal, the opponent is looking to answer back, and that's what we're seeing. No team has gone on incredibly long runs, obviously, until that goal was called back from Team Glenn. When Kayla Trainer scored, her foot was on the crease. That would have been 3 in a row, but no team has gone above 2, and that's what you want to make sure that you're doing on the field, stopping any runs, playing good, solid defense, and we're certainly seeing that this afternoon.
In this low-scoring game, most of the time during the games of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse in the first 28 games of the season, most of the times the teams are hovering around double figures. The Geico overall leaderboard sets the table for you. The top 4 will be medalists. There will be 1 individual champion. Katie Glynn presently is in 5th position, and the goalie who will join us now will play in the second half. Katie, I don't know about you, but that was some pretty good goaltending in the first half of play. You have a tough act to follow, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. Angie crushed it, and Mira's doing awesome, so it's awesome to watch.
Katie, what's the mindset that you have coming off the bench? Obviously, you're the captain. Not many captains would probably choose that position, that added pressure. What kind of mindset are you in when you go in the half?
You know, always going into the half, I'm just ready to go and ready to help my team win.
Stick doctor, I'm sure the blue string is ready. Go get him.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Katie Glynn, after 1 half of play in a 4-4 contest, we can't get enough. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports is presented by Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com. True to form, throughout these 5 weekends of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, the games have been close. Another tight one. Team Glenn 4, Team Oldmiller 4 at the halftime break. Folks, our players were asked to talk about self-belief, a time of reflection, and how it affected their career. Listen in to an emotional Lindsay McCone.
I had a lot of adversity at Northwestern. I mean, something that, my brother passed away when I was a junior, so I had that, obviously, and I just used lacrosse as such like a way to get out of what was going on with, because he was sick with cancer, so it was like kind of my escape from reality for a bit, and it only motivated me to be a better player. And then later on in that year, my high school coach passed away in a plane crash, so I had like a double whammy of that, but I think it only let me like appreciate what I was doing and who I was playing for and what I was playing for more, and it honestly like propelled me into the place that I am today and the player that I am today, that I just like, my style of play per se is like laying it all out on the field and diving and like knocking passes to people and stuff like that. So I think I just leave it all on the field, and it's because I've been through so much off the field.
Believe You Will, presented by Guaranteed Rate, and this is a player who does leave it all on the field, Courtney. As we've watched her play over the 5 weekends as a professional, she's improved with each passing week, and she's a heart and soul type character.
Lindsay McCone, now I understand her story better being a part of Athletes Unlimited. When I watched her in college through now, she does. Each and every play, it's as if it's the last. And when you learn about the adversity that she's overcome, you understand why she plays like that.
We can understand why she appreciates the game too, right? She dreamt of being a pro player ever since she was a little one. And now that that dream has been realized, what do you think all of these players are thinking now that we've come to the end of the line of this regular season?
You know, so many of them have talked about wanting to be role models for those next players, the next girls who are looking at them in the stands. You see them signing autographs oftentimes after games, and they want to make sure that they know that they can do it too. So they're paving the way, but each and every one of those little girls looking out for them, they want to say, this is your time, and it's going to be here soon.
Terrific role models, all of them in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Courtney and I will be back. We'll have highlights right after this TV timeout. Lacrosse on Fox Sports is presented by Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com. One more go-round here at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex. Team Glenn and Team Oldmiller. Game 29 of 30 this season, deadlocked at 4 apiece. Joe and Courtney with you at the half. And Court, when these games are tight, how does it make the athletes react?
You know, it means every play matters first and foremost, but truly in order for those to move up the leaderboard when it's a tight game and things are exchanging, obviously Team Glenn has already earned 20 points, so is Team Oldmiller. Makes it tougher for those overall sweeps that we've seen Team Cummings do, and that's how she was able to gain such a large lead. However, on the field, you know, every pass that you're making, every catch, you're kind of overthinking it through and through.
Time for us to sort through the highlights. We began with a 2-point goal from Allie Kennedy.
Allie Kennedy, this was her very first shot on goal. And as we look right here, using her teammate Kylie Oldmiller, sweeping through that jump shot, 2-pointer, put everything on the line right away, 2 points ahead. But then Kayla Trainer, she answered right back for Team Glenn. And then another one by Alyssa Perella, using her speed, a little bit of a fake split right there, powering from outside.
Mira Shane got a chunk of that, but not enough. And then Dowd would find Oldmiller.
That is one of my favorite goals. Super sneaky. She really sold that around the crease. But Alyssa Perella knew when she got a good start or whether she didn't. Made sure to bold dodge to the outside. Very smart, even though she's quick off of that line. And then you see Courtney Fortunato exploding on the field. Every single one of these players, it's not just about perfecting the dodge, but the speed at which they do it.
Such powerful shooters on the run. We saw that on display in the first 2 quarters. Numbers-wise, these are the halftime stats.
You know, everything pretty even. However, when you look at the draws won, Team Oldmiller leading there, I expect to see a change. We know that Kayla Trainer has the capability at the draw, and she does well when she's at it.
0-0 there, warming up right before your eyes. Katie Glenn, she's going to come on to play in the second half. Katie Glenn figuring prominently on the Geico leaderboard. Katie currently in 4th. The top 4 will receive medals once all play is done and all MVP voting is in. Taylor Cummings for the moment has the lead. She has her feet up. She's getting ready for the nightcap. We're getting ready for the 3rd quarter in just a moment.
Impossible? Ha! Watch me. That word is not in my vocabulary. Welcome to my mentality, where I will show you freedom, recognition, for every athlete, every woman, for my team, for me. Say my name because I am the best at what I do. The All-American, the Olympian. My craft is my free expression, where I compete to win. I stand for racial equality, gender equality, income equality, as a guaranteed, tangible reality. Welcome to where I play, where I am free.
Those spoken words, the essence of what we do with Athletes Unlimited. This is Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse in the inaugural season, the summer of 2021. 2 quarters complete, final game of the year for Team Glenn and Team Oldmiller. It was 3 of the last 4 on the board for the team dressed in blue. Folks, you need to head to auprosports.com. You'll get your Athletes Unlimited gear there. Don't forget to follow us on social at AU Pro Sports for all the exclusive inside content. Throughout the season, we've been able to bring you down to the field level with players wearing microphones all year long. Let's go into the game now with Kayla Wood.
Yes, yes. Yes, Taylor! Good pickup, Taylor! Beautiful. Great job, Taylor. Yes, Kay! Let's go! All aboard the K train.
Is that another timeout? All freaking board. Hey, Blue Eagle. I'm here. Hey, Joe, can you relay the message to Blue Eagle that she's literally killing it on the draw circle.
Appreciate you, brick wall.
Hey.
Keep crushing it in the cage.
That goal was scored by number 20.
Who has ball? Who has ball? Who has ball? With you right, Cookie, leaving Cookie. Watch your pick. Hey, who do you have? Hey, take high.
Courtney, ever notice how the players treat those microphones like they're walkie-talkies? Like they've got to literally pick them up and speak directly into them?
It's awesome. I want to say breaker 19. Like, I want to play with them.
As far as quarters one as a captain, this is a note that we dropped verbally to you back in the opening half. Kayla Woods, a captain 3 times, and she won 16 quarters. That adds up when you multiply 16 by 20 over and over. And she has performed beautifully in these 5 weeks. Kylie Oldmiller is joining us. Captain Kylie, you know, I'm not sure if you were able to hear the audio that we were just playing from Kayla Wood. Is she that loud normally on the field?
Oh, yeah. I had Kayla on my team week 1 with the Gold Squad, and she is much more fun to have on your side than to be playing against her. And, you know, today I'm marked up against her, and we're just having a ton of fun. So I'm hoping you're not getting too much of what I'm saying into her mic, too.
Kylie, you've done an outstanding job. Obviously, Allie Kennedy was your first pick in the draft. Talk about that. Why was she your first selection, and what has she done to help propel this team?
You know, AK is my girl. We played together at Stony Brook, and I thought she has been absolutely crushing it in her rookie season. And, you know, she deserved that number 1 overall draft pick, and I wanted another chance to be able to put on a jersey with her. So it's been fun the last two games. We got 16 more minutes to go crush it together.
71, get back to work. Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Kylie Oldmiller, a right-handed pitcher, I might add, when she was throwing out the first pitch at a Washington Nationals baseball game recently. Does most of her damage on the lacrosse field left-handed. As far as Team Oldmiller is concerned, Amber Hill has come in to play goal in quarter 3, subbing in for Mira Shane. At the opposite end, Katie Glynn. This is her squad. Captain Katie, who has earned her reputation as the closer. You think back to the initial weekend of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, it was Glenn and Britt Reed who were such a formidable tandem in the net. You see the name Britt Reed ranked 7th on the overall Geico leaderboard. The top 4 receive medals. The top 1 is the only champion of this summer.
Now, one thing I love about Katie Glynn, she likes coming in off the bench, and the fact that she was number 4 on the leaderboard, the more saves that she gets, ground balls, cause turnovers, the farther she'll move up, but she didn't care about that. It was all about the team play, and she wants to be able to come in, finish the game, and not necessarily take over or make any changes to what she's done throughout the entire season.
These athletes unlocking their unlimited potential, inspiring excellence on the field and in the community. Taylor Vanthoff with the drive, and Amber Hill is into the game right away with her first stop. Hill, who made 3 saves against Kaylee Waters a day ago. Her daughter, Jordan, has been around the athletes a good deal of the time. Athletes Unlimited so inclusive, trying to get the families involved, and Jordan is a very good goalie in her own right.
You know, when lacrosse runs in the family, you tend to have your children play that same position that you did. You can coach them, teach them what to do, right and wrong. She said she can't wait to see her daughter continue to play as she gets older and older.
Hench against Hirsch, a tongue twister matchup. Perella, beautiful dodge. She goes to the goal, stopped by Hill. Amber took that one right off the shin. Oh, goalie flashback, sorry. Those used to hurt so much. Oh.
That's when you see the goalies have a big bag of ice on their leg, right? After the game?
Oh, mommy. 4-all, less than 2 minutes into the third quarter. But your teammates love you as the bruises add up. McMahon back behind the goal. Geiger and O'Donnell have been looking after McMahon. This time it's O'Donnell. McMahon hesitates, trying to lose her check, feed it inside to Dowd. Katrina drifting with 20 seconds to shoot. Kayla Wood attached to 4 in the purple. Dowd stopping and starting off the pick from Peros. Bounced it wide of Glynn, who challenged well. Peros, no shot clock reset. That was wide, so Oldmiller has 7 seconds to shoot. On the inside roll, stuffed out by Glenn. Katie needs every point she can muster in the battle for a medal today. Those are 6 points for the goalie stop. Kristen Carr brings it along. Carr, who tallied in week 1. There have been 7 defenders to score goals this season in Athletes Unlimited. Carr did it against Angie Benson. Shayna Pareca feeds for Perella. Perella already with a 2 spot on the board. Waits, looks inside to Hinch. Bottled up with Hirsch. Taylor Vanthop was crossed up by that flip. Taylor came right back to get it though, 20 in the blue. Fortunato on the split dodge. Angled by Dowdy. Perella for Fortunato. Long range, no worries for Hill. And the rebound's goosed right to Kennedy, who has that terrific speed. She was trail checked though. Fortunato gets it right back.
Kayla Trainer with that check. It'll be the cause turner for Kayla Trainer. As good as 12 points right there, and then a ground ball will go to her teammate, Courtney Fortunato. Joe, when you think about defensive players that are on the leaderboard, when they cause turnovers, that's as good as a goal. That's why we see so many different positions, which I think is what's exciting about the point system.
Trainer locked up with Dowdy. Trainer will skip it out there. Long range 2, stopped by Hill. Rebound, Karam's down, and Amber has it covered up. You know, we talk about having a monster point weekend. Kayla Trainer had 400 points last weekend. That's the kind of weekend it's going to take someone to overtake Taylor Cummings at the top.
She's going to need to score goals, have some assists, and cause turnovers just like that.
Amber Hill, welcome to the game. 99 in purple has been a wall between the pipes. The scoreboard even at 4. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse continues. We've told you how heroic the goal scorers are. The goalies are pretty darn good too. A little bit more than halfway through the third quarter. No scoring yet in this frame. It's 4-4 as you see Kayla Wood walking past Captain Kylie Ohlmiller. Kayla is wearing a microphone today, and as we take you into the game, sometimes, you know, you just need a little help.
At least it's the bottom hand. Just play with one hand.
Start going pinky.
Yeah, pinky. Yeah, pinky scoot.
It doesn't work.
Can you call ball a little bit more?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Ah!
Yes! It's only because when I'm like in the face guard, I like to know where the ball is, so I know what my position is.
I stop calling ball when Allie has it, because I don't know when she's shooting.
Well,
does that make sense?
Can you call where it is?
I can call, but like once certain people have the ball, I'm like,
yeah,
the bitch is gonna shoot. Yeah, the bitch is gonna shoot. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, because she got me already. I'm not trying to get her like,
yeah.
I mean, that is fantastic. Angie Benson, helmet off, resting in the second half, turning the crease over to Katie Glynn. But that's amazing when a pro player comes back and says, hey, can you do me a little bit of a favor and lead me where the ball is?
And yet, that player being younger than you.
Yeah.
I love her confidence on the field, not just with the ball, but without when she's communicating, obviously.
And terrific to see the diversity on the field there with Benson and Wood. Angie says, you know what, this sport gets to be a little too cookie cutter at times. We could use a few more sprinkles. As this gets bounced wide, it's 4-all with 3:19 to go in the third. Overcast skies, temperatures in the low 80s when we began play today here at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex, 30 miles north of DC. The lights have been on all game long. Feels like all season long, to be honest.
This is the Mid-Atlantic. It rains.
Welcome. Plenty of humidity to boot. McCone off the split, looking to McMahon halfway through the 60-second shot clock. McMahon hovering around that 8-meter key. Dowd has Wood hung up. Katrina Dowd looking for a passing lane. Skips around that goal circle. Bluffs it. Feeds to Ohlmiller behind the back. She just missed. That did not hit the cage, so the shot clock continues. counting down to 4. Ball down. McCone selling out, as she told you she would in her Believe You Will, presented by Guaranteed Rate. Meanwhile, Gabriel with some get up and go. Carr flashing into the offensive end. On the feed, Fortunato. One more. Hench stuffed out by Hill. Amber Hill's been dynamite in goal. Her 4th save already.
Now, they have been challenging her this entire third quarter, taking a lot of shots from different ranges, and that was a 1v-none with Taylor Hench.
We get a whistle here, a timeout called late in the third quarter. With 20 points on the line for whomever leads the scoring in the third, neither team has a point on the board, and in large reason you could say that obstacle has been overcoming Amber Hill, 99 in purple.
Right here, look at her composure. She's matching stick to stick. It looks like it hit her shin. Again, you're always taught, put your body behind the ball if your stick can't quite get there. She does a great job of movement and holding her ground.
4-4 on the scoreboard. On the field, we recognize our presenting field partners, the good folks at Geico, for their efforts. This is Sunday, championship weekend, Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you as we tip our caps to all the men and women in our technical crew. A fantastic crowd in attendance here at Maureen Hendricks Field. We know that we're less than a week away from softball season number 2 of Athletes Unlimited, and during the week of practice, the lacrosse players broke out their wiffle ball bats.
And we're getting ready for softball season, practicing with our wiffle balls, and sad to see it go, but excited for softball. You're watching Athletes Unlimited.
Thank you, Sammy Joe. I want Izzy McMahon on my team court. She went upper deck with that swing and the bat flip as we get set to hand things off to Eric Collins and Danielle Laurie for Athletes Unlimited Softball.
Joe, as we talk so much about drafts and how they've played out, how many times different players were captains in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, Kat Osterman, she was a captain in 4 of the drafts, and we don't quite have any lacrosse players that did it 4 times. We saw 3 throughout the season here.
Amber Hill has made a handful of saves since she's come on for Mira Shane. She just stopped Shayna Pareca. As we carry along in this 4-4 contest, Kayla Trainer with a scoop. Trainer on the hop, 6-on-6 to this end of the field. Shayna Pareca with Nicole Levy atop the 2-point goal scoring list in Athletes Unlimited. Shayna has a flair for the dramatic too. She's been scoring 2-pointers and serving those up as game-winning goals late in regulation.
Right now we see the Pareca sisters. They're playing on one another. Sydney wearing number 44 in purple, Shayna in 41 in blue.
This summer, the first time they've ever worked on opposite teams. O'Donnell, not enough room to shoot there. 20 seconds on the shot clock. O'Donnell tries it again, bumped by Sydney Pareca. That foul inside the key is going to lead to a free position shot.
This is our 3rd free position of the day, the most that we've seen in any of the games to date. We see O'Donnell taking a minute there to compose herself.
And do it well. Katie O'Donnell in a flash from the free position.
From that 8-meter line, everybody has their own little style, which foot they begin with. But as we see this challenge right here by Katie O'Donnell, it was that hard contact that the referees are calling. I feel like we see so much of that on the field. Again, very physical play. But Katie, just a few steps off of that line. She doesn't get as close as many of the other players. Her start not as quick. All she needs is a couple steps as she brings that stick back before those defenders collapse on either side.
It's been a gray day overall here at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex. Team Glenn gets on the board first in the third quarter, does so in the final minute of it, in fact, trying to steal away those 20 points. Precious points for everybody on the roster when you win a quarter, 45 when you win the game. As the officials get set to go back to the draw circle where Lindsay McCone and Taylor Vanthoff will ply their trade. Taylor using that familiar gold-headed cross when she's at the draw.
Obviously, every draw taker looking to gain any advantage that they can on the field. Oftentimes, it's about quickness. It's knowing how and where to place. However, stick heads do matter, especially when you're going up against somebody else who's just as skilled.
Scraped up high, batted down by Kayla Wood. She gets the draw control. 2 more points for Kayla, who has been among the top 10 and as high as #1 in many instances this season. Katie Glenn flares that over the head of Shayna Parekha. That's costly to Katie. That's a direct turnover, -8 for a player who's trying to squeeze into the top 4 and earn a medal. Not what you need to be doing right about now on the final day of the season. McMahon for 2, blocked by Taylor Vanthoff as time expires in the third. So Glenn gets the 20 by winning the third quarter 1-0 and leading 5-4 after 24 minutes as we make our move. A very low scoring by Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse standards. Low scoring game. 5-4 for Team Glenn in front of the faithful here at Maureen Hendricks Field at Maryland Soccerplex. This was the day, the final day that folks could buy tickets for Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, and they have shown up in a big way to watch the team in purple under Kylie O'Miller's direction fence with Team Glenn. We told you that there are 20 points on the line per quarter. This is how that's played out so far today, Courtney.
Obviously, when you take a look at this, everyone on Team Glenn getting those 40 points, and the biggest players in the running for her team, Kayla Trainer, as well as herself, Katie. She's obviously playing in the second half right now. And then on the reverse, Kylie O'Miller, the captain, she's continued to move up, but you need to have more quarter wins in order to make a difference.
Hey, Mira Shane, bottoms up. Don't want to catch you while you're catching a drink there. Did you just pour that all over your face? That was nice.
I did not. I mean, that would feel refreshing. I actually got it down to a science now, getting it through the helmet hole.
If this was a movie line, I would say, geez, that's when you started your drinking problem.
Oh, geez.
Hey, you're a member of the player executive committee. Tell us what the last 5 weeks have been all about.
Oh my God, they've been absolutely fantastic. Just being a part of the committee, being with those leaders and role models of the game, that's been unbelievable. And then bringing it out here to the field. Do you see these humans? They're absolutely incredible. Everybody always gives it their all, and I love them. It's been an awesome time in this league.
Mira, you have such energy. I love it. When you're in the goal cage, we can hear when you make comments like, that's what 5 years of ballet does. I didn't realize you were a ballet as well.
It was 7 years of ballet when I was in like kindergarten through elementary school, but it stayed with me obviously with that flexibility, and then my defense just makes it easy again to make those split saves, so really thankful for them.
Mira, thank you. Demi plie.
Awesome. Have
Very
a good
nice
one. Bye, y'all.
Angie Benson, if you have your ears on. Angie, this is a 1-point game. How nerve-wracking is it for goalies?
Oh, this is definitely where all the nerves sink in, right? It's going to be a gritty play. Whoever hustles the most is going to win this game.
Angie, we could hear that communication between you and Kayla Wood. What is her play on the field, that energy and leadership that she brings?
She's so fun to play with. I think the chemistry we have on the field really reflects our friendship off the field and who she impacts off the field as well. Just a really good teammate, and I love playing with her.
Angie, thank you. We know you're multitasking over there.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
5-4 after 3 quarters. Angie's team is Team Glenn on top.
Joe, I love how Mira corrected me. Not 5 years she did of ballet. That was 7.
Oh, yes. I want full credit.
Well, ballet's tough, but like she said, flexibility, it's allowed her to make those split saves in the cage.
Are you telling me something? It's not in my future. Trust me. 5-4 with 7:40 to go. The final game we'll have for you on Fox Sports, presented by Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com. So many people to thank for all the efforts of the last 5 weekends as Perella looks to go to the cage against Peros. A sneak attack from O'Donnell. That pass was too high. Courtney, we shout out thanks to Sherry and Holly, CJ and DJ, all the Athletes Unlimited executives and officials for allowing us to be part of it this summer.
I can't believe how quick these 5 weeks have flown by. I feel like we've been out on the field with the players, running, competing with them, but to see what they have done on the field week in and week out, rain delays, weather, competing and getting to know one another, I think is probably the most fun that each of these players have talked about. They were enemies in college, a lot of them, and now they're leaving best friends.
Deserved thanks to the players, the facilitators, their families, friends, and loved ones. They've been so cooperative, so helpful. Miller on the go, dancing in on the roll dodge. Fires this one over top of the cage. Everybody connected with Maureen Hendricks Field of the Maryland Soccerplex, the grounds crew that's been put to task so often with the inclement weather. Great job done by them. McMahon isolating, 10 seconds to shoot. McMahon off the roll. Dowd comes to fetch, not a lot of time with which to work. Katrina 2 seconds from 2. Easy pickings for Katie Glenn. All the sights and sounds of this great game picked up by all the men and women in our TV crew. We are indebted to you for all of your expertise over the last couple of months. And of course, thanks to the fans and those viewing us day in and day out over the weekends, these doubleheaders. It has been our treat. O'Donnell going to goal. Measured there by Sydney Pareca. Perella off the split, and Amber Hill cannot be beaten today. Hill has a handful of stops since she's come on for Mira Shane.
Oftentimes offensively, you think you're going to catch a goalkeeper off guard, but she has stood tall inside of the cage, no matter if the shots are from out far or in tight. But we see Kathy Rudkin right here when the play was in transition.
Grimacing in pain while she's lying on her back. Kathy Rudkin, who hails from San Diego, California, being tended to by the athletic trainer. Now seated upright. Rudkin, who we've mentioned loves surfing. She received her first custom surfboard at age 10. Right now, we're hoping that she'll be feeling better by the time we're back on the other side of the break. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports is sponsored by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. There's Katie Glenn going through the handshake line right into the eyes of Sammy Jo Tracy. Exquisite score around the cage. Alex Ost and her bunch will see the team dressed in orange a little bit later. Time to trade uniforms, trade jerseys. You know, there were 19 players who wore all 4 colors in Athletes Unlimited. Kathy Rudkin still being tended to. And Courtney, when we look back upon the video, we can see where Kathy took a misstep. We've not seen Mary Kate Bonani come on in her stead just yet. Ouch.
You know, the fact that she got up and was able to walk afterwards tells me that this is not the first time that her ankle has maneuvered in a way that it generally shouldn't stand, but she's a tough, a tough player, super consistent on the field, has done a great job out here. And I see her on the sideline again, like ready to go.
She's been part of a winner, right? She's 9-5 in her games heading into play today. Halfway through the 60-second shot clock, a little bit more than 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Low-scoring affair between Glenn and Ohlmiller. Kylie wants to change that. Feeds to McMahon. She pumps one right on, and Glenn eats that one up eye high. 6 more points for Katie Glenn in her quest to medal. The top 4 will be receiving medals on the leaderboard once we are through with the nightcap game and the MVP voting.
Joe, close games, they're exciting for the fans, but it doesn't necessarily do anything for the individual players who are looking to move up quickly. Generally, that quarter points, they're split from one team to the next. And low scoring means not a lot of goals, so not a lot of 12 points for those offensive players like Kayla Trainer or Kylie Ohlmiller.
Speaking of Trainer, 21 in the blue going to work. Kayla Trainer matched up there. Working in on Hirsch, spins back. Taylor Vanthop is next. Skip it to Pareka. Shayna gets around her sister, and she was fouled.
This is our 4th 8-meter of the game. We've seen different styles of 8 meters, but right there, that sliding defender is actually Allie Kennedy, who committed the foul and who will be going behind Shayna Pareka.
Will she crank it up for 2? Setting her feet. That wicked release set to come. Scores up top. She shimmied inside the circle, inside the key. That should just be a 1, but it was a howitzer.
Joe, when you asked that question, was she going to look for some power? You could tell as soon as she stepped to that line. Stepping to the line and getting her stick back, that nice little wind up, she was looking just for a step and release. You want to do it quickly before those players are crashing in, but she has such power, and this time we really see her driving into it with her full body. Hips, upper body, torso, everything involved to gain some speed.
Shayna's never shy with her celebrations. Nice to see her back on the board. She's better than 1,100 total points on the leaderboard. She didn't have a point in the game against Taylor Cummings' side yesterday around the noontime hour. Team Glenn has made hay from free position. How about 3 for 3? The deficit is 2 points for Team Ohlmiller. Half of the goals this afternoon coming from that 8-meter key. Peros right to the cage. No mistake. Emily Peros.
A great job offensively right now there, not just for Emily Peros, but for the rest of the attackers who were out on the field. They were making defense have to make tough choices. They were spreading themselves out. We see Cookie Carr right there, 83. Her arms were spread. She was trying to take up a lot of space, saying, I have you, as well as Kylie Ohlmiller below me. Kylie stayed nice and low, but what that allowed was for Emily Peros to come waltzing in. Anytime defense does not make contact with you, you want to make sure to continue to dodge to the cage, and that's exactly what Emily Peros, number 5 right there, is fired up. She did.
You think she wants this game? Emily Peros, 17 on the season, 10 seconds after Shayna Pareka from the free position. We have a 1-point game. More than half of the games this season in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse have been decided by 2 points or less. That's how competitive it's been. Wood comes up with a ground ball. That's 2 more points for her. A player in contention for a medal. Kayla Wood, 45 in the blue on the handoff. She'll leave it in the capable cross of Katie O'Donnell.
I love her confidence on the field. As soon as she scooped that up, she knew she had a riding Katrina Dowd all over her, but her eyes were up, wondering if I should push the transition, ultimately deciding to pull it back, wait for offensive players to get onto the field.
Gabriel working in against Kennedy. Grace Gabriel rolls back, gets stripped there from the blind side. Rutkin is back in business, and she was ball hawking there. Kathy Rutkin, who we saw roll an ankle just a few moments ago. Ball down for Trainer. Trainer with the scoop, didn't come up with it. Peros does. And Amber Hill will walk from her goal circle. Just over 3 minutes left in regulation. If we are tied, we'll play a 3-minute sudden victory overtime.
There were a lot of quick turnovers in those instances, but they weren't unforced. They were caused. So a lot of 12 points dished out in that last minute, back and forth per team.
Fourth quarter win points on the line, Courtney. 20 of them, in fact. It's 1-1 in the fourth. Ohlmiller dancing in between defenders. Scores! Kylie Ohlmiller.
Kylie Ohlmiller tying things up for her team. I just talked about it's all about body positioning, making sure you make contact. And we see right here, both defenders went for her stick. They were reaching, and as she protected her stick through that double, they didn't close the gap. They still left enough space for her to squeak on through. Right here we see as she split to her left-hand side and then takes a little hesitation and running through the sticks. Also important, if a defensive player doesn't make contact, use a space to your advantage.
That really was a marvelous example of stick protection in your words. And you've told me, you've expressed to me that you're not necessarily allowed to bring the cross in too tight, but just enough there for Kylie to protect and keep away from defenders.
Absolutely. You don't want to be called for an illegal cradle that's having it too close to your face, but that's not what she did in that instance. They just left enough space for her. She was able to squeak through, which is why you don't just want to get your feet there, but your body and your stick as well.
Plenty of fan support for Kylie Ohlmiller in this 6-6 game. Getting set now for our Geico Defensive Player of the Game. The goalkeeping's been really good. Just ask Amber Hill.
Amber Hill has done a tremendous job in cage. She's the Geico Defensive Play of the Game right here. We see her tracking that ball every step of the way. Every time she's set and ready in her position, we see her step out, looking to take away a little bit more space from these attackers who are collapsing on her, looking to take shots from in tight and out far. She is sacrificing everything to put her team in the best possible position.
Amber Hill, look at those stops in the second half alone. Later this evening, we will be awarding the Geico Defensive Player of the Year. The Athletes Unlimited Award will come with an added $5,000 bonus for the winner. We're down to 3 finalists, in fact. Left side of your screen, Becca Block, Ella Simpkins, Kayla Wood. You really can't go wrong there. The winner voted on by the players and members of the Unlimited Club of Athletes Unlimited.
Each of those players often has matchups against the top opponent from the other team. We saw Kayla here matching up on Contrita Dowd, not giving her much space because she is very deadly when she's looking to feed that ball. If we look at the in-game leaderboard, everyone wearing those blue and purple jerseys moving up the ranks. Obviously blue right now is they've had 2 out of the 3 quarter-point wins.
Blue is Team Glenn. Purple is Team Ohlmiller. Team Ohlmiller has the lead in the fourth quarter, scoring 2-1 with 2.5 to go. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor down the stretch with you. Ohlmiller in no particular hurry now, looking for Allie Kennedy, whom she made the #1 overall pick in the draft that you and I presided over back on Monday. This is Sunday night championship weekend. On the go, that drive flagged down by Glenn. This afternoon matchup, the finale, a nighttime start, 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll see Team Waters and Team Cummings. Glenn looking to get ahead, and there's a timeout that's being asked for by Katie's squad. 6-6 game, as both teams will talk strategy. We can once again refresh your memory as to who's who on the Geico overall leaderboard. Top 15 on display. At the bottom, you see the name Dempsey Arsenal, not able to compete. She was injured and out of play the last 2 weekends.
The fact that she's still in the top 15 just shows you her dominance on the field. She's done a great job as a captain, selecting teams, coming up with a lot of wins. However, as I look at Kayla Trainer, she's now moved up to spot number 7, right behind Kylie Ohlmiller. So she needs this fourth quarter point in addition to the overall win to continue to propel herself. I've seen her have several caused turnovers this game, just 1 goal, and you need to have a monster fourth quarter to look and compete with any of those players above her.
Courtney, the margin from 3 through 9 is razor thin. If your team goes on a run and wins 2 or 3 quarters in a row, you can vault quickly into the top 4.
You can, but then you look at Sama Puzo, Kaylee Waters, Taylor Cummings. They have not even stepped foot on the field yet. And so when they play in the next game, I expect for them to have leaps as well.
Watch out for a Puzo in that 4 spot. I wouldn't be surprised with the way she scores, and if that team plays well and sweeps through, although Kaylee Waters will say, no, you don't. But if they have a big night, a Puzo may flourish. Katie Glynn, she's in the mix. Katie over 1,500 points. Look at all the win points that she's piled up. Mostly playing the second half of games and doing so in stout fashion.
To only play half the game and to come up with saves, obviously MVP points as well, it's difficult. You're splitting time with somebody else in your position, but yet she is one of the top 5 players that speaks volumes to how she's able to impact the game.
She told us she's a huge fan of mac and cheese. I'm sure there are a lot of people in the stands today who would go for a plate of that right about now. Katie can enjoy that once this one's through. 6-6 with 1:50 to go in the 4th. Things get bottled up at midfield. Perella and Wood down in a heap. Kayla Wood getting those goggles back on, 45 in the blue. We mentioned to you earlier, if you weren't with us, Kayla took that lacrosse ball, the shot to the face yesterday in close quarters from Kelly McPartland. She's tough. She's a lacrosse player. She bounced right back up.
She did. I was really surprised with that. Obviously, Kelly McPartland earned a red card, just the second one that we've seen in Athletes Unlimited. There's no shooting space or 3-second calls, so any shot that hits a defender above the knees is issued a red card immediately.
Nail-biting time now. 90 seconds left. Tie game. McMahon on the move. Ohlmiller wants it. Ohlmiller dragging her defender, O'Donnell, out wide. Trying to sweep. Looks to the interior. Sammy Jo catches it. Tracy is stopped there by Katie Glynn. Geiger comes up with the ground ball. Give her 2 points for the scoop. Carr looks to clear. Shot clock's at 50. Game clock's at 1:02. Carr running for cover. Still not across the midline. Now she will be with the help of Taylor Van Thoff. 6-6. Big points on the line for the 4th quarter and for the overall win. The team in purple, Team Ohlmiller, leads in the 4th quarter, as you can tell, top of the screen. O'Donnell picking up speed. 35 seconds in the contest. 22 on the shot clock. Why not get it into the cross of Kayla Trainer? Against Dowdy, this is an all-world matchup. Trainer tried to sneak it short side. She missed it. It's backed up by Ohlmiller. One final thrust. Ohlmiller's squad does have a timeout. The feed for Kennedy. Kennedy makes a break to the top of the key. Fans roaring. O'Donnell put her down. Was that inside the key? If it is, it's free position for Kennedy.
Joe, obviously we're going to take a look at this again, but I think the defensive player was standing with her feet on the 8-meter line. We see right here O'Donnell, her feet are on the line.
Ugh.
Looks like it's close. Could have been right inside.
The officials have huddled. Kennedy lines up for the free position with just 10 seconds left. Shades of Emily Peros, who won a game like this 2 weekends ago. Kennedy going to the cage. Tremendous stop! Katie Glynn went to the splits. Glynn with the huge save, and this game will go to sudden victory overtime. A well-deserved hug for the captain.
Katie Glynn, she loves those pressure situations. It's a choice by her. She's the captain of the team. And she wants to come in second half for big-time moments just like that. That's a lot of pressure when you're looking for a one-on-one save with an attacker streaking right through the center of that 8-meter key. It was a great takeoff by Allie Kennedy. No defensive player had their stick in sight. That was all Katie Glynn, making that tremendous save and then smothering the ball.
So often, shots like that click off of your leg, your thigh, and bounce in. Katie gets the good fortune to find that in the goal circle beneath her and force us into OT. She made 52% saves last week. The daughter of Debbie and Ted, and I'm sure Debbie is roaring her lungs out watching this one unfold. And Allie Kennedy goes away unhappy, but knowing that she and her mates have the chance to push forward into a sudden victory overtime. We are going to put 3 minutes of time on the clock, Courtney. For the second time this season in 29 games of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, we go to OT. The first overtime is 3 minutes, sudden victory. So 1 goal wins it, a la Kenzie Kent back earlier in the season. Should there be no goal in the 3 minutes of overtime, then it gets really interesting.
So once it goes after that first overtime, there's another minute break. And this is something we have not seen all season long, to a shootout. And I cannot tell a lie. It's the final day. I wouldn't mind seeing one.
Okay. So the way we just ended.
The toss of the coin.
So what we're going to do is come out with a draw. We'll play our 3 minutes, and then we go. And if we have, sudden victory, and if we have no winner, then we'll go to those shootouts. And then that'll be when we get lists of players and all that good stuff. So, okay, good luck. Have fun.
That coin, one of the series, the American Innovation coins. It has the Hubble telescope in Maryland on one side, Statue of Liberty on the other. And we have sudden victory overtime for you with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports, presented by Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com. Bonus lacrosse. In these situations, in these instances, for me, I always think of the players who have the best speed as the potential game-winning goal scorers. The game has gone long. You've played 4 quarters. Who has the most fresh legs, to me, always seems to provide the winner, or at least be the favorite to provide the winner. There are 4 medalists after play is concluded tonight. There's the Geico overall leaderboard with Taylor Cummings soon to be warming up to play her 6 p.m. Eastern time game. Katie Glynn has advanced into the 3rd spot. You see her shadow boxing before the start of this sudden victory overtime. Glynn at one end, Hill at the other, and Amber has been marvelous in relief of Mira Shane today with a quick prayer before we get going.
Joe, you talked about who's fresh, and I'm looking at that draw taker. Who has the draw stick? Who is looking to push the fast break? Do you want to use the draw stick at this moment? Do you want to take time off of that 60 seconds to exchange your stick? All of these things are what they were talking about right before that overtime timeout, so they could help prepare.
3 minutes on the board to do your best. First goal wins it. Taylor Vanthoff, Lindsay McCone. Ball scraped down. It's Katrina Dowd, a member of the player executive committee. Dowd running to the sideline, getting away from defenders, and it's going to be the quick timeout taken by Team Oldmiller. They take the timeout, and now they have possession. They will try to draw up a winning play.
Offensively, as you are looking at the players on the field, they've done a great job when they spread things out, when they give each other space to work their magic, and then while still being an option.
Most of the day low scoring, and then Courtney, we have this frantic finish at the end of regulation and a chance for Allie Kennedy to win it late.
As we look, game went into overtime off of a fast break. Kayla Trainer took a shot at the other end of the field. This culminated in a foul. Allie Kennedy with that 8-meter free position, a chance to win it all. But Katie Glynn stepped up. She loves pressure situations, ultimately held the ball for those final few seconds. And now we're in the first overtime. This is just 3 minutes of sudden victory, or as you call, bonus lacrosse.
Bonus. Glynn barking orders around that huddle. A half a dozen stops for her. For each save, she gets 6 points on her leaderboard total. The next goal will win it with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on Fox Sports. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. We are at Maureen Hendricks Field at the Maryland Soccerplex, about a half hour north of our nation's capital, in front of a adoring lacrosse crowd filling the stands. 99 at one end, 00 at the other, and 42 hoping for her next chance. Kylie Oldmiller, who has a special flair for the dramatic. Did they draw something up for 71 in the purple? We shall soon find out. It is 6-on-6. Plenty of time left on the shot clock, 55 seconds. And Katrina Dowd gets it started. Kennedy jogging up top. Kayla Wood has her. Two-player game with McMahon. Switch the point of attack to Peros. Perella guards her. Oldmiller against Carr. A red, white, and blue battle, if you will. Oldmiller. Feed it inside. McMahon did not take it. She was on a severe angle. Izzy turns, gets topside. Waits. That feed was a tough catch for Sammy Jo Tracy. Ball down. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Officials gonna give the ball to Team Glenn. And they take the timeout.
Now, Joe, I like that timeout call. Last time they had difficulty clearing the ball in transition. That's when they gave a turnover. So smart call, draw it up, how you clear the ball easily, and then talk about that offensive set. Now, as we look at this, Izzy McMahon, quick moves. That tough pass inside is what that unforced turnover, giving the ball back to Team Glenn right there. Katrina Geiger, tremendous quickness, sighting where that ball was headed. That's how she was able to get a step on Sammy Jo Tracy.
Inside the huddle, under the goggles, the intensity on their faces. 6-6. Final game for each of these two teams in this 2021 Athletes Unlimited season. Athletes Unlimited launched in 2020 with women's softball that was held in Chicago. Kat Osterman, your champion. In March of 2021, it was volleyball's turn. Jordan Larson, a winner in Dallas. Softball season 2 set to begin this coming weekend as we crown a champion tonight in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Might it be Katie Glenn as she jogs back to the cage? Her team in possession of the ball. And now, once you get it to the offensive end, if you're able to clear successfully, you look for the best initiators. And in my mind, I put it in Perella's cross.
She's done a great job, but I feel like she's done well because all eyes have been on Kayla.
First step, though, for the team in blue is to get the ball across the midfield line. Glenn helping out. Launched it to an open O'Donnell, and now it's 6-on-6 at the offensive end. O'Donnell streaking inside the 8-meter key. Fortunato has the flamethrower outside. Perella is the dodger from the top. Kayla Trainer, oh, by the way, one of the best offensive players in the world. Stifled for most of the day by 29 in purple, that's Meg Dowdy. Halfway through the shot clock, Trainer waits, bluffs over her shoulder, feeds to Perella. Perella against Peros, gets the jump. Perella, great stick check there, but there was a foul. They're gonna get Peros for fouling Perella, and Alyssa's going to free position.
Alyssa so quick, dodging around. That was a desperation check by Peros. We see her tying up the stick, holding it down. That's what the referees were calling. Another opportunity right now off of an 8-meter to finish this overtime in favor of Team Glenn.
3 for 3 from free positions for Team Glenn today. Perella, the chance to win it in her cross. There was a procedure there. Kennedy going to be backed up. Alyssa Perella going to goal. Perella scores! Sudden victory for Team Glenn.
A tremendous finish for their final game of the season. Team Glynn and Team Oldmiller battling it to the very end. Played one overtime period. Had a little bit less than a minute 30 to go. Perella capitalizing on a foul at the 8-meter spot. Tremendous excitement you hear from the fans in the stands. Alyssa Perella, a lot of pressure. She's taking that shot, and she handled it so well. Again, signature speed as she put her team to victory.
Jumping for joy, Alyssa Perella. Almost halfway into the overtime, and she wins it. Team Glynn in blue can put its feet up, and they'll wait to see how many, if any, of their players can squeeze into the top 4 and earn medals later today. Once again, your final score, 7-6 for Team Glynn. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks for your time. We appreciate your watching Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse.